Hello and welcome to another Craftbook tutorial. The first section here we have is lights that are activated by redstone. There's three different types. You have the netherrack, pumpkin and glass block stroke glowstone block. Obviously netherrack, when you click a switch without using that tool, turns the netherrack on and off for fire. Pumpkin, obviously a pumpkin light, and that is straightforward glowstone, and that's those. You can put the redstone directly underneath the block and it will still work. Next one, we have the lift. It's quite a simple little Craftbook mod. You have two signs. They have to be directly above one another with a floor underneath them, otherwise it'll complain that you haven't got a floor to land on. You have the one at the top says lift down and the one at the bottom says lift up. Right click on it. Are you not working? It's probably because I've got something in my hand. And you can see it jumps up. Click lift down, takes you back down. And that's lifts. Next one we have is doors. Now we have two signs at the top and bottom here. One says door up and the other one at the top says door down. They're normally limited in a config file as to what blocks you can actually use. It's mainly like wood and cobblestone, etc. Basic simple stuff. They can be activated via redstone or by right clicking the sign. The top and the bottom lines of what you've put in there don't change, but everything in between does. Not quite sure what the maximum size is, but you can do some pretty big doors. Obviously the redstone signal works as well, and that's the door. The other one, which is very similar, is called bridge, and obviously this one doesn't have different signs on it, it just says bridge on both sides. Also activated via redstone or by clicking the bridge, but it's easier to put a redstone signal in. Click on it, no bridge. Click back on it, we have a bridge. Not bridges. Along a similar vein, we have gates. You can fill these in with normal fence, nether brick fence, glass, and obviously you click it and it leaves the top run. Click it again and it fills back in. Also redstone activated. You don't have to put it on the front of the gate, they can go on the sides, they can go much further down. You can create an opening with two sets of gates and it'll operate both sets of gates at the same time. And that's pretty well much gates there. Cookery pot. This is a straightforward simple. You have a netherrack block, you light it, put a sign on the front with cook with square brackets on each side of it on the second line, a chest over the top of it, and what you do is depending on what the config settings are, it will either need to put fuel in, or it won't need to put fuel in and cook, but if you put fuel in as well it cooks even faster. Basically you just throw any cookable food in there and it will just cook it and then just convert it from one to the other within that same chest. And that's the cooking pot. Now you wonder why I've got a big set of ladders up here. This is another little feature of this, where you can actually drop ladders down. It is useful if you're on top of something and you're out in survival, you've actually got ladders, you can drop them down a vertical surface so then you can climb down. And it's supposedly, when you click it, it's supposed to make them all fall down, but for some reason it isn't. It's not mega useful, but it could be useful. There's 4 types of what we call special pistons in this as well. There's super sticky, super push, crush and bounce. Super sticky, you may get the idea of what this will do. See, I've got 5 blocks there and it says 5 on the sign. Click it, moves them forward, click it, moves them all back. Super push, obviously something very similar. It'll shove them, but obviously doesn't bring them back. I think you can put up to 12 as a complete number on these to move that amount of blocks. Next one, crush. I think this may be obvious what this one will do. Bop. There you go. It crushes blocks. And this one, bounce. This is good if you can fly on the server to give you an instant launch. And there we go. Much easier to get up in the air than just flying up. And back down we go. The light switch. Now you can see this lovely little room with our redstone torches on. The sign on the wall, which is an eye on the second line with the square brackets around it. Click the switch, redstone torches turn into normal torches to give you some light. Now, I'm not quite sure whether this one's working out because I think I messed about with the config file. I don't think I can actually get close enough to the chair to actually sit on it, so I may have to come back to that one. Next one, ammeter. Take a piece of coal. You can see the redstone signal here. I've got signs on showing how much power is actually running round. If you use the coal and right click on it, you'll see the little ammeter come up at the bottom, tell you how much power along the line it is. They go down to 12, 9, 6, down to 1, and there, obviously 0. It's useful if you can't quite tell just how much power is left or it's not obvious. You can see how much power you've got at one certain point. And that is the ammeter. Next. Right, where did I put me? There we go. I'll put that back in there. You can copy signs. All you have to do is right click on one sign you have copied, and then you just press the button, the other button, which is left, bump, bump, bump. Very useful when you're doing ICs later on and you have to do multiple copies of the same IC. Signs, right click on it, you can now edit this painting. Use your scroll wheel on your mouse and you can just change and select whichever painting you so choose, and it's much easier than keep flicking the painting off and keep trying to put it back. Much better. Let's put some light on the subject again. Oops. Does that be spelled date? Next one on the list. Now these are pipes. Uses glass or stained glass, or you can actually use glass panes if you want to go in a straight line. There are settings in the config file that allow you to use diagonals, but it depends what's set on the config file as to what it will actually do. Currently it's set to transfer complete stacks, but obviously I haven't got a complete stack, so what it will do is when I flick the switch, see, ink sacks, I'll put the ink sacks back in there, and you can see, click, and the ink sacs are back in there and gone from there. You can make these pipes pretty long. I was just seeing just how long you can actually make them. That's actually about, I think it's about 700 blocks of glass long, and it is instantaneous transfer from one chest to another. And that's pipes. I'll quickly explain the fact you need a sticky piston coming from the chest you're sending from, and a normal piston to the chest you're sending to. Next one, here's a little house. That's simple, nothing special about it, but there's no lights on inside, is there? Let's click this sign, go inside. Now it's got lights. Where did they come from? This basically uses the area, which allows you to toggle things on and off. Now if I copy this sign, go over here, type area, and type that, you'll see it's got my name at the top. The area comes up and it says toggle area created with TH lit, which stands for this house lit. If I click the sign, you can see the house disappear. Now the house area isn't linked to where the sign is, it's linked to where you actually created the area. So if I create, say, a block of stone like this, select it using the tool, what you have to do then is area, save, stone. I'll tell you it's been saved, and then do area stone like that. So it comes up with my name and that's it. Click that and it disappears. Oops, never mind, now it's gone now. And that's our little tutorial for today. I will be back with some more later on, probably the more complicated stuff, the integrated circuits or integrated systems, whatever they want to call them. They're ICs. IC to me means integrated circuit. So and that's it for today. Thanks for watching.